Taurus, it's Erin Scott here. Happy 2019. So I tapped in to your natural mastery arc. What is the arc of the Taurian archetype, the embodied Taurian archetype, for this exponentially dynamic 2019 cycle? What is your natural growth? What is evoking a particular growth theme that is appropriate for your archetypal embodiment? Okay? Now, I'm using the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle deck, same one that I used last year for 2018. You received a beautiful growth. The activated growth for your evolution this year is number 27, Sisters of the Sacred Spiral. So I'm going to read here from Alana Fairchild, and I want you to, as I'm reading this, really drink it in. I want you to understand that this is both the theme that's going to be growing you, but also the area that's going to require your focus and your attention over the year ahead. Okay, so this is Kuan Yin speaking to you. I create by weaving a web of love, drawing threads from the past and looping these with threads of the future, drawing them together back and forth over time until the beautiful present moment is rich, full, and abundant with love interwoven. When that happens, the plan that I have been lovingly preparing for you suddenly appears to come together, all the preparation finally showing itself in effect. This time for acknowledgement and celebration shall come for you. My weaving hand is steady, sure, and swift, and the threads of your life are rapidly taking shape to reveal my most beautiful divine plans for you. Now, before I continue reading, I want you to understand that the Divine Mother here, Kuan Yin, is you, essentially. This is your inner narrative calling your own mastery forward. Any seeds that are planted are yours, Taurus. This is not somebody else that is, or another entity that is, has plans for you. You're the one that has plans for you. And this year, 2019, certainly 2020, 2021, I mean, we're moving into a rich phase in evolutionary processes for Earth and human that will be unprecedented. And you are called to align. So know that anything I'm reading here for you, this is really your own higher self's call for you. It's not somebody else's. It's not another entity's plans for you, okay? So, in the ancient wisdom teachings of China, there is the spiritual philosophy encoded in the writings known as the Tao Te Ching, which teaches not only how to live a spiritual life upon the earth, but how to live well in harmony with all of life, with less effort and more abundant outcomes. You could consider it to be an ancient guide on how to work smarter rather than harder. This is about the law of least effort, by the way, okay? Becoming more efficient, aligned, and flowing with the powers of life. The teachings provide guidance for attaining harmony within the self and in relationship to the flow of life, as well as to developing strength of character and empowerment to manifest one's greatest quote-unquote destiny. What this is talking about is your optimal alignment. All of these things are considered mutually inclusive and supportive of each other. One of the great wisdoms of the Tao Te Ching is summed up in the phrase that the way forwards often appears as if it goes back, and the way back may appear to go forwards. This enigmatic teaching has much practical relevance for the modern spiritual wild child seeking to live well, prosper, and serve life. It speaks to the true progress as being non-linear, which is true. That's how living systems work. Whilst in many cultures we are taught that success comes through a step-by-step approach, one foot after the other on a straight, perhaps ascending trajectory, the way of the Tao, the Mother Nature, the wisdom of which is the basis for the Taoist teachings, holds a teaching for another way. This way involves less resistance and greater effect. So what this is talking about is, again, a basic universal principle of least effort, which is how nature operates. We learn this by cultivating and attracting energy, rather than a forcing energy. The key for such energetic attainment is hidden in the natural world. Spiral patterning abounds in the natural world, from nautilus shells and seahorse tails to the center of a sunflower, a pine cone, to hurricanes and the spiraling whirl of a galaxy, even the spiraling of our own DNA and the chakras in our energy field. The wisdom of the natural world is growth and evolution through cycles, and the spiral is the wisdom turned into a sacred pattern or form. The Tao understands and shares with us its practical application for our life experience. This is brilliant, Taurus. Excellent. What this means is that when you grow, you do not only grow in one direction. You are a natural creation, a child of the stars, true, and the earth, true. So you grow according to natural law, indeed. That means you grow and expand in spirals rather than straight lines. Expansion means that not only will you encounter more light as you grow, but you'll also tap into more of your shadow, and that brings with it its own tests and challenges, and opportunities, of course. When you are in a phase of expansion, there is a testing period. It is a time when you are learning how to operate as a greater being with more consciousness, energy, and power than you previously embodied. It is a sign of growth and progress, which is ultimately constructive. When the spiral is expanding out toward the future and the light of what could be, it will feel uplifting, exciting, and like real progress. When the spiral expands out into the past, the dark, what has been, and what has perhaps been hidden, it may not seem so progressive or exciting at all. In fact, you may feel as though you are under a deluge of issues you thought you had already reconciled, rising again as if to test you at every turn. You may not believe you are growing at all. You may feel as though you are losing ground, regressing, or somehow going further back onto your path than you have ever been. But, Taurus, you are not. You are expanding. Your being, evolving into manifestation of your divine essence upon the earth at a greater turn of the spiral of creation. This apparent darkness will naturally pass. It is the way forwards. Through it, though it certainly may look and feel as though it is going backwards. You cannot avoid this process if you want to continue to grow. If you want to manifest your dream, to turn the impossible into reality, you'll have to grow to do it. And that means bearing not only the light, but also, when the time is right, the darkness, because that is a part of the cost of being a wild, alive, divine being in the world. And in addition, this is part of life. Light, dark, both equal. Okay? So darkness is part of life. It is inherent to life. Okay? Compared to the different sort of darkness of being numb, disassociated, and hardly alive at all in some sort of unaware semi-consciousness, which far too many people needlessly endure, it is not such a high price for the gift of aliveness. Nonetheless, it is a deeply challenging part of the growth journey sometimes. And the more we are aware of the context, the more philosophical and less frightened we will be during these inevitable times in our lives when we are growing into our destiny by taking a tour through the shadow side of our being. Yes, we all hold it. It's all there. We need to confront it. Many people are very afraid of their darkness. So this is a huge issue that's up now for a lot of people and will probably progress in 2019. So Taurus, we're already knowing that you're going to have to confront with joy your wholeness, including the dark aspects, dear Taurus, okay? The Oracle of Sisters of the Sacred Spiral comes to you with guidance. Firstly, you are going into or are already in an intense period of personal and spiritual growth. This will entail much joy and forward movement forwards toward your destiny, which she says destiny, I'm going to call it optimal alignment, okay? Your optimal alignment is what we're looking for. That's what's growing. That's what's perpetrating within you. And you will also have to confront the darkness in your own being. Fear, doubt, grief. But more than that, any part of you that is unwilling to let go and trust in what is taking place. You might have worked on an issue for many years and be further ahead in healing that issue than you ever have been before. Yet the nature of growth is that you will revisit this from a different perspective again. That's part of the spiral. If you attune yourself closely to the process, you will realize that you are not repeating past patterns, but learning to experience something in a different way, applying what you have learned and attained, and attaining self-mastery through this process. You will need to trust more than you ever have before. Life, the universe, wants to bring more abundance, fulfillment, and experience to you than exists in your world at present. So you'll need to be more open and receptive to what it's on its way. This means trusting more, no matter what appears to be the result of that trust. Keep trusting, keep going. Love is guiding you and it is prevailing. But you have to trust in the process. You have to know, in other words, that there's function in it, Taurus. There's function in the process. It's not random and it's not by mistake. What's happening is directly related to growing you. Okay, so it's functional. The sacred energy in this oracle refers to the orange-hued chakra located at the sacrum, encompassing the hips and lower belly, known as the sacral chakra. It is associated with the element of water and creativity, growth, life force, feeling, and even intuition. The Oracle of Sisters of the Sacred Spiral asks that you don't overthink here, that you forego analysis and logic for a time and simply trust your belly to lead you. When something feels right, go into that. When something does not feel right, step back. This is a time to let your feelings lead you, not your head. By the way, a lot of signs have been getting this message lately. This is, and part of the North Node moving through Cancer is about this, Taurus. Humanity as a whole, and each of us as individuals, are guided to step into our intuitive body, to reconnect with our emotional guidance system, because we have vilified it and defiled it for far too many years, for millennia, okay? So for you specifically, this is about connecting to your intuitive body and your emotional body. So this is a time to let your feelings lead you, not your head. It means giving up any idea that you know how everything is going to work out. You don't. You can know that everything will somehow work out, but the timing and process is up to the greater force, which you can tap into and flow with. It's like surfing a wave rather than trying to swim against the current. It's by trusting your belly and allowing feeling to lead you in as many ways as possible. This may be easy for you, or it may feel unfamiliar and awkward. If it is the latter, have faith. You are learning a new way to be. Actually, you are remembering a way to be, right? So you are learning a new way to be. And it will be to your benefit to do so. There is no shame in finding it unfamiliar. It takes so much courage to expand beyond what you know and try something that is different. It is the hallmark of a brave soul, and you are to be proud of yourself as you practice this different way to be, familiarizing yourself as you go with this new flow. So Taurus, this is going to be a powerful year of you reconnecting to yourself, moving through your process of expansion. There might be some times when you're going to have to confront your own inner woundings, because ultimately the dark stuff that we've compartmentalized is the darkness that we don't want to see, we don't want to deal with. It scared us, it made us feel unworthy. So it's time to really bravely confront and see everything clearly. For those of you who are familiar with my astrology work, be back in touch for your 2019 cycle. If you have not had a natal analysis done yet, it is the time to do it. For those of you who have and want to order your 2019 analysis, be in touch. There's also an option for a full 3-year analysis through this portal, this chapter of time that we're moving through, which is intensified. For those unfamiliar with my astrology work, I invite you to go to my website and read the testimonials, and to really reconnect with or really connect, maybe for the first time for some of you, with your natal encodings, with your natural narrative, with your story, your distinct story, why you're here, what you're here with, the wound sets and the mastery trajectories that are all being activated naturally during this time in exponential growth of Earth and human. So you can reach me at thealchemyofholism.com. You can also reach me at elscott.org. The links are below. Taurus, I send you so much love and support for this journey. All is well. Know that everything has function. Know that you actually know what to do. When you connect at your deepest levels, beyond the myth of wounding separation and that foggy perspective lens, you know what to do. You know where to go because you're following your natural bliss. So I send you support. Be in touch if you're called. And until again, have a very good start to your 2019 cycle. Much love.